All right, KDAY Nation, super excited about this because, I'm all about my women empowerment. Emiliana
Guereca.
Guereca, yes, I almost had it. Founder of the Women's March Foundation is here. First of all, thank you so much for always standing 10 toes down for us and just representing and inspiring women like me. And I just was like, man, I'm so excited that you came into the station today because I have a lot of questions for you. Emilia, I want to ask you really quick. Let's just jump into it. You organized one of the biggest women's marches in history back in 2017. Looking back now, how do you feel that moment helped shape the fight for women's rights today and what has evolved since then?
So I think it built a movement beyond just women's rights. I think it built a movement of resistance that was so needed. I didn't know at the time what it would become. I thought, I'm going to march one day and go back to working because I did have a job.
Right. Uh-huh.
And so I think that I couldn't walk away. I couldn't go back to just the status quo. I knew that we were regressing with women's rights. And everything we marched for in 2017, everything we thought would happen has happened and more.
Right? What was it about that when you were like, okay, I just can't go back to work, which you thought you were going to do? What was that moment like? Because it something pulled you, something you felt conviction in some way that you had to go ahead and say, you know what, I need to stand up and be a voice.
So absolutely. So I owned at the time an event production company, and I already knew that I was in a space that didn't really have female representation. And so organizing a march and then trying to get elected officials at the time to take the stage, I was going through, where are the women? At that time, we had one city councilwoman in 2017.
What?
Yes, and she was booked for the day. I was like, absolutely not. So in a progressive city like Los Angeles, right, we were still missing representation. And here we are almost a decade in. So we've got a lot more women in city council, and we have a full slate of board of supervisors that is entirely women.
I love that. We need to be heard. We need to stand up. We need to make our voices be heard. The Women's March Foundation is on the forefront of lines when it comes to protecting women's, equality, justice, with all the proposed budget cuts and the threats to Medicaid and Planned Parenthood. What's the biggest danger right now for women's health and reproductive rights?
So the biggest danger is what was just announced today. So today they announced that they will no longer protect, they rolled back emergency abortion services for women, something that we thought was at least protected, right? So we're talking about someone possibly hemorrhaging, possibly dying. So that was just today. So when we've got also rollbacks to Medicaid, we are also talking about health issues for women, education issues for women. So what people don't understand is that the upward mobility for women is threatened by all of these cuts.
Right.
Right? When you think, okay, I am good in my career. Oops, I don't have health care. Oops, I don't have education. Oops, I don't have this. And this is a systematic dismantling of women's rights in order for us to get us to barefoot and pregnant is what I say.
Right. And in the kitchen. I'm just saying.
In the kitchen, right? So realistically speaking, it is systematic. And we know that when democracies die, when you look at people and countries that have flailing democracies, they go for women's rights first.
Why is that?
Because we've never had political power. So we've got to continue to build political power in order for us to get to equal.
And when you heard the news today, for somebody that is a voice and that is constantly fighting, what was your mindset when you heard about today?
Well, my mindset went into doubling down on that fight. My mindset is into making everyone understand that these folks work for us. That we are able to fire them. Your congressional representative who is not out there speaking for you, your senator who is not out there speaking for you, they need to hear from you.
Yes.
And you need to let them know. And this is also a fight for men too. This is also a fight where men can say, hey, once you dismantle women's rights, they're coming for civil rights. They're coming for voting rights. And for our Black and brown folks, that's dangerous. This is a state of emergency that we've got to continue to fight back.
Now, let me speak on something that I've seen on Instagram. You've all seen it on TikTok. We're seeing families separated right now. Mothers deported, fathers left trying to keep everything together, right? How is the foundation stepping in to support immigrant women and families that are impacted by these policies? I don't know if you saw the video that's been going viral of the young mother that went to court, for her immigration case, and they put her in the back of a car, and it looks like a cage, and she's crying, her husband's crying, her kids are crying. It's so horrible. And at some times, even at some point, as a Latina, as a brown girl, it's just, I'm tired. We're tired of seeing this. We're tired of seeing this constantly done to our people. So let's talk about that, man, because it's heavy on my heart.
So it's heavy for all of us. It's dehumanizing. And let me just tell you that my office is in Boyle Heights, and yesterday we had a lockdown. Why? Immigration is kitty corner, is at Mariachi Plaza, right? And so what gives me hope around that is that folks got out megaphones, got in their cars, and drove immigration out.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Megaphones of ICE is not welcome here, right? And so, agents out there, kitty corner from our offices, right? And so I think that we have a moment in time where we can say enough is enough. And again, going back to our elected officials, because we elected you to be our voice.
Right.
But also using our privilege. If you are a citizen and you're able to do this, if you see immigration, stand out. Fight for us. Fight with us.
Right.
Because it can't be our only fight. And we also have to talk about what we bring to this country. We are not the takers of this country, right? When we talk about Elon Musk importing white Africans, what he is telling us is that he values white. We've got to fight on that. We've got to fight the racism that is being brought to our doorsteps. And that has to do with continuing to mobilize. And yes, I know people are afraid. Listen, I grew up where my parents were deported. Right? I was not born in the United States. And so folks are like, well, Emmy, what happens if they take away your citizenship? Then they're going to do that anyway.
Right.
But it doesn't mean I stop fighting. We can't stop fighting.
And I say, even when you're tired, you get up and you fight some more. That's what we do. Yes.
Absolutely. My parents came to this country with zero. They almost died on the way here. I was one of those kids that crossed the border without a parent. I think I owe it to everybody else to continue to fight that fight.
Absolutely. And then you know what it is at times to be without mom and dad.
Absolutely.
And it's scary. So when mom and dad is being pulled, these kids are left alone.
But it's the cruelty.
Yes.
It's the cruelty. Yes, I grew up with my parents being deported, but I was never put in a cage. It's the cruelty, and it is sowing fear in our communities. If you go out to our communities, you're going to hear the quietness, because that is what they want. And so we've got to continue to stay together, inform each other. Yesterday gave me hope. Yes, immigration was out there. But about 30 folks went out there, honked horns, and kicked them out, literally, out.
Yes. I've seen videos where the ICE is pulled into neighborhoods, and neighbors have gone out and been like, don't come out of your house, And I'm like, okay, yes, neighbors are all standing up for each other. This is what I want to see more of.
Absolutely. And continuing again, here come elections in 2026. You have an opportunity to elect folks that can impeach this president. So keeping our eye on the long game.
So really quick, let's switch over to some good news, because you're opening a new West L.A. office. So congratulations. The new West L.A. office is a big step, and we're excited for you. That space is going to help you better serve women and families that are on the ground. What kind of work do you plan to focus there at the West L.A. office?
So I've got Boyle Heights office, now West L.A. office.
Yes.
We're opening up the Women's Lounge, a podcast talking about women's issues, which again, all issues are women's issues.
Yes.
So our goal is to continue to organize out of that space, but more than anything, enter into the podcast arena. Why? Because it's a bro fest out there. So we've got to make sure
and open the conversation up.
Yes, and newsflash, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist, and that is a space where folks can join us.
You know what's so crazy is that I just interviewed Dolores Huerta a few weeks back, and she said the exact same thing. She said, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist. She's like, there's men out there that are feminists that stand with us and march with us and believe in our rights as well. The Women's Lounge podcast, congratulations on that. Why is it so important right now that you feel, important for, to amplify women's voices in media right now?
It's important because, again, when we talk about the mansplaining that is out there, and the disinformation that is being set forth out there, including in AI spaces, right? It is very male dominated, and we need to make sure that women's voices are out there loud and clear about the issues that matters to us.
Right.
All the issues are women's issues. Defunding of PBS, NPR, education, it really affects women. Defunding of Medicaid, it affects women. And so I think that we've got to continue to stay loud, but more than that, be leaders in this space.
And right now, everything is social media. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, whether it's good or bad, a lot of people are pulling their information from social media. So I think that it's better to add another podcast on there that is going to speak women's rights, but that's also going to give you the facts and educate you.
Absolutely.
Because I hope that the young women go to your podcast and walk away with some knowledge.
Absolutely.
Some empowerment.
That's critical.
Yes.
It's critical for them to have the knowledge, but it's also critical for them to see themselves behind the mic.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes. Okay, so for people who are listening and want to support Women's March Foundation or get involved, what's the best way to get plugged in with you and for them to actually make the impact that they want to help make?
womensmarchfoundation.org. Go to our site, go to our socials. We've got campaigns from Digital Divas to fighting disinformation to now our podcast. We are opening up internships in the summer.
What?
So yes.
I want to go help. Come on, let's go. I got a voice.
We're going to need all the help.
I got you, Emiliana. So can you tell us really quick before you leave, tell us what's going on June 14th.
Woo!
Yes.
So June 14th, we are marching to kick the clowns out.
Where's this going to be at? How can they get involved?
Yes. So go to our site, womensmarchfoundation.org. We're also asking folks to bring a flag and wear it upside down. Why? Because it is an SOS. The country's in distress. The country's on the verge of dictatorship. Never in my entire life did I think I would ever see a president putting a military parade for himself. That is dictatorship 101. So if you got a flag, upside down to make sure the world knows that we are in distress. So we're kicking the clowns out June 14th. If you're marching, you're protesting, you're going out there, make sure you wear an upside down flag to say SOS, this is an emergency.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited about that march. I'm going to be there too. With my flag. I got you. This is what we're doing. Emiliana, really quick before you go, it's a fight. And it's not easy. And every single day you have to be on point. You are, leading a group of women. How do you make time for yourself? What's that like for you? How do you not get defeated or feel defeated at some point? We're all human.
You can't feel defeated. Our ancestors fought without social media, without all of the tools that we currently have. Think of the civil rights movement. It was built without social media. So communities must come together and be able to do that, right? So I disconnect every Sunday, no social media, no phone, none of that.
Right.
In order for me to plug back into my community and my family. That's the only way we're going to do it.
Oh, thank you so much for stopping by. We need more Emilianas in this world. But listen, make sure you guys go ahead and log on womensmarchfoundation.org. get involved, volunteer. Women's Lounge podcast. Everybody's gonna be there. I'm telling you right now. I will be there.
Yes,
I will be there. If you
thank
guys have an open seat audience, please let me be there in the audience. I just want to hear and soak up the knowledge.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for being on the front lines for us. Like speaking, I know it's tough, and I know there could be at some days where, you know what I'm saying, you have these days that are tougher than others, but you're still there for us. So thank you. Like that means a lot to me without me getting emotional.
Oh, thank you for having me.